Right now, in your hands, you hold the most powerful tool for attracting more wealth, and it's not the cash itself. It's the words you speak over it. Speak them with faith, and you'll set in motion a law that multiplies what you already have. Pick up the nearest bill or coin right now. Hold it in your hands. Look closely, not with the eyes that measure its number, but with the eyes that see its soul. What you are holding is not paper, not metal. It is a living messenger of the divine, carrying a frequency that responds to the way you think, speak, and feel about it. This, right here, is the first truth most people never hear. They are taught that money is cold, that it is inanimate, that it is a thing to chase or fear. But, today, I tell you, money is a sacred current, an endless stream that flows towards those who honor it, and away from those who scorn it. See it now as a seed. Inside this seed lives an infinite harvest. You do not see the forest in the seed until you plant it, water it, and care for it, and the same is true with money. It holds the potential for expansion, blessing, and creation, but it blooms only under the sunlight of your respect. Notice the texture beneath your fingertips. Imagine that each fiber, each etched design, is alive with golden threads of divine substance. This is not your imagination running wild, it is your inner sight awakening. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the law of respect for substance. What you respect multiplies, what you bless expands, what you resent repels itself from your life. Breathe deeply, hold the bill or coin to your heart for a moment, whisper to it, money, you are God's sacred substance in circulation, and I bless you now. Feel the shift inside, where once there was awkwardness or shame in touching money. There is now reverence. Where there was tension, there is ease. Perhaps you have been taught that loving money is wrong, but love, in its pure form, is not greed, it is appreciation. When you hold a flower and marvel at its beauty, you are not greedy for it, you are honoring what it is. The same law applies here. Money, when seen as sacred substance, becomes a willing companion. It seeks you as much as you seek it, because in your hands it is safe, blessed, and used for good. Close your eyes now, picture money as a river, endless, shimmering, alive. It flows gently towards you, around you, and through you. Only fear and resentment can build a dam across this river. Only doubt can turn its waters aside, but gratitude breaks the dam. Blessing widens the channel. Think of a time when you received money and felt instant gratitude, without fear of losing it. Remember how light you felt, how generous your spirit became. That was the river flowing freely. Your task is to live in that state, to hold the feeling even before the money arrives, so that it has a reason to keep arriving. Now open your eyes and truly see what you are holding, not currency, not just cash. This is the divine, intangible form, choosing to appear to you so it can serve your life's purpose. Say it again, aloud if you can. Money, you are God's sacred substance in circulation, and I bless you now. Notice how different it feels the second time. Your voice is steadier, your breath is deeper. You are beginning to step into alignment with the invisible law that governs supply. This moment is more than an exercise, it is a contract between you and the universe. It says, I will no longer treat money as an enemy or a stranger. I will treat it as a trusted ally, and like all allies, it will respond in kind. Look again at the details, the printed lines, the engraved faces, the shapes. These are not random designs, they are symbols of circulation, of exchange, of connection. They are reminders that money is a tool for movement. It is never meant to stagnate, never meant to be hoarded in fear. The more it moves in blessing, the more it returns multiplied. If you can feel the life in your hands now, you are ready for the next step. You are ready to speak words that will set this life into motion. You are ready to activate the sacred law that what you honor increases, and what you bless cannot be kept from you. Hold it close one more time. Say softly, you are welcome here. You are safe here. You are blessed here. And truly know that from this moment on, your relationship with money has changed forever. Before you can multiply anything in your life, you must first learn how to bless it. This is the heartbeat of the divine law of increase. Whatever you bless expands. Whatever you criticize, condemn, or curse begins to wither. The soil of your mind is always listening, and it produces in exact proportion to the seeds you plant with your words. There is an old story of a farmer in a quiet valley. Each morning, before the sun rose, he would walk the rows of his field, not just to inspect the soil, but to speak life over his seeds. He would bend down, touch the earth, and say softly, you are good, you are fertile, you will bring forth a harvest beyond measure. He spoke these blessings daily, never skipping a morning, that season. While other farms yielded the expected harvest, his fields overflowed. The people in the valley called it luck, but the farmer knew it was the law. The law of increase does not fail when honored. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, bless your good, and it will multiply. Curse it, and it will vanish. These are not just poetic words. They are instructions for aligning your energy with the multiplying nature of the universe. Every form of abundance, whether it is money, opportunity, or health, responds to the vibration of blessing. Your words are not idle sounds. They are commands issued to the invisible forces that shape your life. Imagine money not as cold, metal, or printed paper, but as light, a radiant beam reflecting the condition of your inner lamp. If the lamp is dimmed by fear, shame, or resentment, the light it casts will be faint, and money will seem scarce. But if your lamp is bright with gratitude, respect, and faith, the light will be steady and strong, and money will be drawn to it naturally. Today, you will begin to practice a sacred ritual. It is not complicated, but it must be done with reverence. Take a bill or a coin and place it in your left hand, the receiving hand. Cover it gently with your right hand, the giving hand. Feel the warmth between your palms. This is the meeting place of receiving and giving, the eternal flow that sustains all increase. Now, speak this blessing 7 times, each time with more feeling than the last. Money, you are alive with divine substance. You are always increasing in my life. I bless you, and you bless me in return, as you speak. See the bill or coin glowing first faintly, then brighter with each repetition. Imagine it pulsing with life, carrying your blessing into the unseen currents of supply. You are not just speaking to the money in your hands. You are speaking to the spiritual source from which all money flows. Feel the shift inside you. The old thought, I never have enough, begins to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. In its place rises a new inner dialogue. What I have is alive. What I have is growing. What I have is already multiplying now. This reframe is not just a mental trick. It is the rewiring of your consciousness to match the truth of divine abundance. Each time you bless money, you are declaring to the universe that you are a faithful steward of what you have, and the universe responds by entrusting you with more. This is why the law of increase feels like a gentle spiral upward. The more you bless, the more you receive, the more you have to bless again. Think of your finances as a garden. Some people look at their garden and only see what is missing. They point out the bare patches, the weeds, the slow growth, and their words become thorns that choke the soil. Others, even with a small patch of green, speak gratitude over it. And what happens? That small patch spreads, it blooms, it overtakes the weeds. Your financial life will follow the same law. From this day forward, refuse to curse what you have by speaking lack, complaining, or dismissing small blessings as not enough. Every coin in your pocket, every dollar in your account, is a seed, and every word you speak over it is either sunlight or shadow. Choose sunlight when you bless money. Do not do it mechanically. Feel the reverence. Understand that you are participating in a law as real as gravity. This is not superstition. It is spiritual science. Just as water responds to the moon and the tides respond to the wind, money responds to the energy of respect, gratitude, and blessing. Carry this practice into your day. If you pay a bill, bless the money as it leaves, saying, "This returns to me multiplied, in perfect ways." If you find a coin on the street, pick it up and bless it, no matter how small. You are training your mind to see increase everywhere, and in doing so, you magnetize more of it. Your relationship with money will change when you treat it as a living companion, rather than a lifeless object. A companion thrives on kindness, not neglect. It responds to being appreciated, not ignored. And the moment you begin to bless it with the intention of the law of increase, you set in motion a current that will not run dry. So as you hold your money in your hands today, speak to it as you would to a trusted friend who has always been there for you. Thank it for what it has done, bless it for what it will do. And know, truly know that the law of increase is now active in your life. If you can feel this truth taking root in your heart, you are ready for the next step in this journey, because, for increase to flow endlessly, you must also learn the sacred art of circulation. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine money, not as paper, not as coin, but as golden water. See it flowing through rivers that never run dry, touching hands, hearts, and homes. Then circling back to you brighter than before. This is not fantasy. This is the law of circulation, a living current that moves, blesses, and multiplies when you let it flow. Think of the ocean. It never clings to a single wave. It releases, it receives, it releases again. That is why it remains full. Your money is the same. The more freely you allow it to move with blessing, the more abundantly it returns. I once knew a woman who decided, for just 7 days, to bless every payment she made, the coffee she bought, the bills she paid, the gift she gave. Each time she whispered, "Go forth and return with friends." She did not beg, she did not doubt, she simply blessed. By the end of the week, unexpected income had arrived from 2 separate sources she never anticipated. That is the nature of divine flow. It finds its way back, often multiplied, often in ways beyond your planning. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "What you give, you receive, and in circulation, what you give with joy, returns to you carrying the vibration you sent out. Give in fear, and fear returns. Give in faith, and faith brings fruit." Today, I invite you into a sacred practice. Hold money in your hands, any amount, no matter how small. Place it in your left hand, your receiving hand, and cover it gently with your right, your giving hand. Breathe slowly, feel its weight, its texture, then say, with steady conviction, "Every cent I spend returns to me multiplied, blessed, and ready to bless again." Repeat it 7 times, each time imagining the money glowing brighter. See it leaving your hands as light, touching others, meeting needs, sparking joy, and then see it returning to you like a warm tide, carrying more than it took. This is not just a game for the mind, it is a reprogramming for the soul. Each time you bless money in motion, you are dissolving the old story of loss and replacing it with the truth of infinite return. Scarcity says, "If I give, I have less." Circulation whispers, "When I give, I am part of the endless divine exchange, and I cannot be left empty." Even when paying a bill, change the inner dialogue. Instead of, "There goes my money," try, "I send this out with love, and it returns with blessings multiplied." In doing so, you shift from the language of depletion to the language of increase. And the subconscious, which always obeys the tone of your words, begins to expect return instead of fearing lack. The river does not stop to count each drop it gives to the sea. It trusts the clouds will carry it back as rain. So must you trust, give with faith, release with gratitude, and let the unseen current do its holy work. From this day forward, practice this blessing not as an occasional ritual, but as a way of being. Every purchase, every gift, every payment, a seed sown into the divine garden, destined to grow beyond what you can measure. Because when money moves through you without fear, it learns to return without hesitation. And when you move in harmony with that law, abundance becomes not something you chase, but something that flows to you naturally, continually, and joyfully. If you can feel that current beginning to stir within you now, then you are ready for the next truth, for there is a weight far heavier than scarcity that can block your flow. It is not in the bank account, it is not in the economy, it is the weight of unforgiven past, and until it is released, the river cannot run free. Prosperity is not only a matter of earning or saving, it is a matter of allowing, and nothing blocks that allowance more than the invisible weight of You may think you've moved on, but somewhere deep within, an old resentment may still be gripping your heart, and with it, your flow. Picture money as a bird. It cannot land in a clenched fist. Your anger, your bitterness, your self-blame, they tighten the hand. Forgiveness is the gentle opening that lets the bird rest, sing, and stay. There was a man who came to me years ago, struggling for months to attract clients to his business. He had tried every strategy, but nothing worked. During our conversation, I felt a knot in his energy. An old business partner had betrayed him, and though he thought he had let it go, he still replayed the hurt in his mind. I guided him through a forgiveness ritual. He resisted at first, but eventually whispered, "I release you, I set you free." And I set myself free too. Within 2 weeks, 3 large contracts arrived out of nowhere. The moment he forgave, the channel cleared. So now, I invite you into a healing vision. Close your eyes. Imagine a great ledger before you, its pages filled with every debt, every wrong, every mistake you've carried in your heart. Some are things others did to you. Some are things you've done to yourself. Some are tied to money lost opportunities, unwise spending, unpaid debts. Now, see a hem radiant with golden light moving across the page. As it touches each entry, the ink dissolves and is replaced with shimmering gold letters. Forgiven, forgiven, forgiven. You feel lighter with each word. The page becomes clean, pure, ready for a new story. And here is your affirmation. Speak it now, aloud, if you can. With sincerity, I fully and freely forgive, and I loose and let go. Money flows to me freely and in peace. Let these words sink beyond your mind into your bones. They are keys unlocking gates you didn't even realize were closed. To anchor this shift, I give you a ritual. Tonight, before bed, take a single bill, any amount, and hold it in your hands. Think of every financial mistake you've made, every burden you've carried, and every person tied to those memories. Then, one by one, say, I forgive you, I release you, I set you free, and I am free. Place the bill beneath your pillow as you sleep. Let it rest there as a symbol that you have invited peace into your relationship with money. In the morning, spend or give it with gratitude, knowing it carries the vibration of release. Forgiveness is not approval of what happened. It is the conscious choice to release yourself from the prison of replay. It is sacred non-resistance, allowing the past to loosen its grip so that the divine supply can take its rightful place in your life. Sometimes, the person you most need to forgive is yourself. For the moments you ignored your intuition, for the times you acted from fear, for the words you spoke in haste, you have done enough punishing. It is time to be your own liberator. Stand before your inner self and say, I see you, I understand you, and I forgive you. And yes, even money itself may need your forgiveness. If you have blamed it for stress, for arguments, for loss, speak this now. Money, I release all resentment toward you. I see you now as a divine servant, not a master. You are free to flow to me, and I am free to receive you. When these inner debts are cleared, the channels of abundance are cleared as well. It is like pulling away a dam. The waters do not trickle in, they rush. Feel the space you have just created within. That openness is not emptiness, it is readiness, with the walls down. The current of divine supply can rush in, and now it is time to command it. When you speak, the universe listens, not to the tremble of uncertainty, not to the whisper of fear, but to the steady ring of authority that comes from knowing you are one with the source itself. Your voice is not merely sound, it is a tuning fork, sending vibrations into the field of reality. Every word is a note, and reality rearranges itself to match its pitch. Florence Scovel Shinn called the spoken word a wand of power. She understood that creation begins not with effort of the hands, but with command of the tongue. When you speak in alignment with spiritual law, you are not begging life for scraps. You are summoning what is already yours in the invisible, calling it into the visible with the certainty of sunrise. Right now, I want you to stand as if you are standing on holy ground. Feel the earth beneath you, straighten your spine, let your shoulders relax, but let your spirit rise. Place your hand lightly over your heart. This is not about shouting, this is about resonance. Speak slowly, speak with intention. Allow the words to settle into the atmosphere like seeds in fertile soil. Say this with me. Money, you are divine substance, and you multiply now. Pause, feel the weight of the command. You are not wishing, you are directing. Again, slower. The law of increase is working through you and me, in perfect order. Let the silence after each declaration be a sacred echo, a moment where the unseen begins to obey. The subconscious does not respond to desperation, it responds to certainty. Authority in tone is the language your inner mind understands. When you speak as if the result is already secured, your subconscious accepts it as fact and begins to reorganize your reality accordingly. This is why some people struggle for years. They affirm with their lips while doubting in their hearts. But when your inner state and your spoken word match in conviction, the law must respond. Imagine your voice as a stone dropped into a still pond. The ripples are not frantic, they are steady, inevitable, and they reach every corner of the water. This is the energy of commanding the current. It is not about strain, it is about alignment. The law of non-resistance tells us not to fight against appearances. If your bank account is low, do not argue with it in fear. Instead, override the visible with the invisible. Declare the truth of spiritual supply. I live in a universe of lavish abundance. Every need is met before I even ask. Money, you serve my divine purpose and you arrive in perfect time. Performance matters. When you speak these affirmations, slow down, allow space for your breath. Imagine each word as golden light traveling into the fabric of creation. Pause so the audience within your own subconscious can repeat them back. This is not performance for others. It is participation with the creative law, and yes, repetition is essential. But not lifeless repetition. Each time you speak, infuse the words with fresh life, as though you are issuing the decree for the first and only time. This keeps your vibration high and your message clear. You are not asking money to come. You are instructing it. You are not pleading with opportunity to find you. You are calling it by name, as a shepherd calls the sheep that already belong to him. The energy of a beggar closes the gate. The energy of a rightful heir opens it wide. Feel the shift as you say it again. Money, you are divine substance, and you multiply now. The law of increase is working through you and me in perfect order. The divine orchestra does not play by accident. It responds to the conductor's baton, and your voice is that baton. Use it with clarity. Use it with dignity. Use it with the joy of someone who knows the music has already been written in their favor. Once you speak as the law, you must anchor it in daily practice until it becomes your nature. For the next 7 days, I am inviting you into a sacred experiment. Think of it not as a task but as planting a divine garden. Every action you take is a seed, and in just 1 week, you will begin to see green shoots of change breaking through the soil of your life. We are going to prove the law together, not by theory, but by living it. Here is how it works. Each day, you will hold money in your hands, any amount, a single note or coin is enough. Hold it as you would hold something sacred, because it is sacred. Look at it without judgment, without anxiety. See it as pure divine substance. Bless it. Whisper over it 7 times. Money, you are divine substance, and you multiply now. Each repetition is a drop of water on the seed. Each blessing a ray of sunlight. The second step happens whenever you spend, whether you are paying a bill, buying food, or handing a note to someone else. You will speak a circulation blessing. Say quietly to yourself, as this leaves my hands, it returns to me multiplied, blessed, and right on time. This transforms every transaction into a sacred exchange. Instead of feeling loss when money moves, you will feel the joy of release, like a river flowing, knowing it always returns. The third step is your evidence journal. Each evening, you will write down at least one example of increase. It might be unexpected income, a gift, a discount, a compliment, an opportunity, or a solution to a problem. Nothing is too small to record. This trains your mind to see and acknowledge the law in action. Florence Scovel Shinn called this counting your blessings forward, recognizing proof before it grows into full harvest. Why 7 days? The mind can resist lifelong commitments, but it will often welcome a short, contained experiment. 7 days is enough to bypass the inner skeptic. It is long enough to show you results, yet short enough to keep your energy high and your focus sharp. By the end of the week, your subconscious will have begun to accept abundance as natural. I want you to treat this as a game with divine seriousness. Be playful in spirit, yet committed in action. Each repetition, each blessing, each journal entry is like tending a garden, planting, watering, watching. You may even begin to feel the atmosphere around you change. Conversations shift, ideas arrive, solutions present themselves before you ask. Here is your invitation. Type 7 days in the comments as your declaration of commitment. When you write it, you are not just telling me, you are telling the universe that you are ready to prove the law for yourself. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the end of this week. See yourself opening your journal on the 7th day, reading the list of evidence you have gathered. Feel the quiet awe as you realize the current has shifted in your favor. That feeling is your soul's compass, pointing you toward the truth that supply is never absent, only waiting for your recognition. As you walk this path for 7 days, something deeper awakens your true identity as a vessel of supply. You stand before it now, the golden gate. It has been here all along, waiting in the quiet corridors of your soul. It does not open for the desperate hand or the pleading voice. It swings wide for the one who knows, the one who no longer asks, will it come? But declares, it is here. You have walked the long road through shadows of doubt, through deserts of delay. But this is the moment you lay aside the garments of a seeker and clothe yourself in the robe of the possessor. Feel its weight. It is woven of faith, of recognition, of unshakable knowing. In Florence Scovel Shinn's wisdom, the law of increase does not wait to be convinced. It is as the sun, giving without favoritism, shining upon the one who claims their place in its warmth. You are not on the outside, looking in. You are the inner temple itself. Close your eyes. See the world as it appears from this place, beyond lack. Not from the anxious distance of someday, but from the eternal now, around you. Blessings multiply without strain. They appear like wildflowers after rain, natural, effortless, inevitable. You are not chasing them. They are drawn to you as rivers are drawn to the sea. Breathe into this vision. Feel the floor beneath your feet solid, golden, warm, walls that shimmer with the testimony of every desire already fulfilled. In this temple, there is no clock ticking, no calendar counting down. There is only the eternal present, in which your supply already is. Now, let the words rise from within. You, not as hope, but as truth, say with me, I am the rich child of a loving universe. What I speak with love lives and grows forever. Again, slowly, letting each syllable ring in the chambers of your being. I am the rich child of a loving universe. What I speak with love lives and grows forever. This is not performance. This is alignment. When you speak from this place, your voice becomes a tuning fork, setting your reality into the frequency of abundance. The law of increase responds instantly, not because it suddenly awakens, but because you have stepped into harmony with it. There is a story of a woman who lived in the habit of lack. She counted every coin, measuring her worth by the limits of her purse. One day, she was told to bless her money every time she touched it, to speak to it as divine substance. She thought it foolish, but she began, not with conviction at first, but with curiosity. Within a month, she was gifted opportunities she had not asked for. Bills were unexpectedly paid. An inheritance she had forgotten about was released to her. She said it felt as if the air around her had changed, as if unseen hands were placing more into her life than she could track. That is the nature of the law. It does not require a map to reach you. It moves through channels you could never predict. So here you are, at your golden gate, the key already in your hand. No more peering through the bars at what could be. Step through, stand in the center of your temple, speak as one who knows. When you buy something, bless the flow that makes it possible. When you receive, bless the giver and the unseen source from which it came. When you think of your supply, see it not as a fragile stream, but as a vast and endless ocean, of which you are the shore. This is sacred certainty, not arrogance, not fantasy, but the calm possession of what is already yours in the realm of spirit. Neville Goddard taught that assumption hardens into fact. Here, you assume not with strain, but with rest. You rest in your abundance, as naturally as you rest in your breath. The law of increase is eternal and impersonal. It responds always to the beggar's fear and to the master's knowing alike. But the form it takes mirrors the consciousness from which it is called. You are calling now from the highest chamber. So I invite you, not later, not after the video ends, but now, to take whatever money you have within reach, hold it, bless it, speak to it as Florence Scovel Shinn would. You are divine substance and you multiply now. Then, with your whole heart, declare, I am the rich child of a loving universe. What I speak with love lives and grows forever. This is your crossing point. Step into the flow that never ends. For you are no longer the seeker wandering in circles. You are the possessor, standing in the center of your infinite inheritance. The golden gate is behind you now. The temple is your home. The flow is your nature. And the law responds always. Most people believe that money is a cold, lifeless thing, just paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. But in truth, money is a servant. It listens, it obeys, it responds to the vibration of your words and the certainty in your spirit. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your word is your wand. When you speak with conviction, you are not just forming sounds, you are sending out commands to the unseen forces that govern your reality. And when you hold money in your hand, that command is amplified. Why? Because the physical symbol of wealth becomes a channel for the spiritual law of increase. Now, here's the mistake most people make. They look at the money they have and think, this isn't enough. They complain, they feel lack, they speak fear. And fear is the fastest way to push money away. Money, like any servant, will not stay where it feels unwanted. It will drift towards those who respect it, bless it, and call it to grow. So I want you to try something so simple that it may feel almost foolish, and yet it works because it taps into the very principle God placed in the universe. Take any amount of cash, it doesn't matter if it's a single note or a handful of bills, and hold it in your hand. Feel its texture, its weight, look at it, not with desperation, but with gratitude. And then speak these words slowly and deliberately. You are a servant of the Most High, and you serve me now in abundance. You multiply in my life, bringing more and more good to me and through me. Pause after you say it, let the words sink into your heart, because this is not a game of empty repetition, it's a transfer of authority. In that moment, you are telling your subconscious mind that wealth is not a distant dream. It is present, it is obedient, it is expanding. You see, the subconscious doesn't argue, it doesn't debate, it takes your words as truth and begins shaping your outer world to match. That's why idle talk of poverty, debt, and never enough is so dangerous. You're still commanding, but you're commanding the wrong direction. When you speak over money with faith, something shifts in the invisible. The opportunities that were hidden start appearing. The ideas you ignored suddenly feel alive. The people who can open doors for you seem to coincidentally cross your path. But here's where most people stop short. They speak it once, maybe twice, and then slip back into their old habits of worry. You must remember that spiritual laws respond to consistency. As Florence would say, you cannot sow an affirmation and then dig it up with your doubts. So this is your practice. Every time money comes into your hands, whether it's your paycheck, a tip, a gift, or even loose change, you find, hold it, bless it, and speak life into it. Say, you multiply for the good of all, you return to me, in overflowing measure. Do this not as a superstition, but as an act of spiritual alignment, because when you bless what you have, you align with the giver of all good, and God's supply knows no shortage. Let me give you an image to hold in your mind. Imagine your money as seeds. If you curse them, doubt them, or neglect them, they wither before they take root. But when you bless them and plant them with intention, they grow not just into more money, but into a harvest of freedom, peace, and generosity. Remember, we are not speaking to money as if it's a god. Money is not your source. God is your source, but money is one of the channels through which his supply flows. And when you treat it with respect, you open the channel wider. Some people will hear this and scoff talking to money. That's ridiculous. And yet those same people talk to their plants to help them grow, speak to their pets as if they understand, and curse traffic as if the cars can hear them. If you already believe that words carry energy in one area of life, why not apply it to the area where most people struggle the most? Florence understood this deeply. She knew that the spiritual realm operates by command. You are either commanding abundance or commanding lack. And the deciding factor is the words that pass through your lips with conviction. So, I will leave you with this challenge. For the next 14 days, every single time you touch money, no matter the amount, stop and speak this blessing over it. You are blessed. You are multiplying. You are returning to me multiplied, under grace, in perfect ways. Do not rush it. Feel it. See in your mind the multiplication already complete. Act as if it has already happened, because, in the unseen, it has. And here is the miracle. You won't just notice an increase in your finances. You will notice an increase in your peace, your creativity, and your opportunities, because when you command money with gratitude and authority, you are also commanding your own spirit to rise into the vibration of abundance. And from that place, the world opens up in ways you never imagined.